In the harsh wilderness, lions represent not only supreme power, but also the primal instinct for survival. Each hunt, each recorded encounter, exposes the fragile boundary between existence and extinction. These are the most authentic moments of nature, where strength, strategy, and instinct intertwine, creating the endless story of the king of the savannah. Late afternoon on the savannah, the sunlight softened behind the tall grass. A herd of zebras moved toward a watering hole, their black and white stripes reflecting in the twilight. A young zebra wandered a few steps, seemingly harmlessly curious. But in the nearby bushes, a pair of golden eyes watched its every move. A lioness lay still, her body pressed against the ground. She subtly tilted her head, signaling with her eyes to two other members hidden nearby. All three moved slowly, maintaining a safe distance and forming a discreet encirclement. When the distance was only a few dozen feet, the moment to act had arrived. From the bushes, the first lioness sprang up, lunging out swiftly and accurately. The zebra, frightened, fled, but the lion's encirclement closed in from multiple directions. Their coordinated teamwork allowed them to quickly subdue their prey. In that brief moment, the hunt ended. The lions had succeeded, bringing back a meal for the entire group. When the dust settled, the lions had won decisively. On this land, it was not just strength, but perfect coordination that determined the line between survival and defeat. On the prairie in the early morning, the air was thin, and the light gently spread across the grassland. A warthog was walking along an empty path. It was eating, its head raised, observing, but there was no sign of danger to make it stop. Familiarity with the land made it less vigilant, a moment of peace, and in that moment, survival became a game of fate. Not far away, a lion was hidden in the low grass. It had been watching its prey for quite some time, waiting for the right moment. The wind changed direction, carrying its scent away. The lion tensed, its eyes focused on every movement. When the distance was only a few dozen feet, its enormous body sprang up with unexpected speed. The grass was torn apart. Dust rose. The warthog turned its head, trying to run. It ran fast, but not fast enough to escape the approaching predator. In just seconds, the lion caught up, delivered a precise pounce, and brought down its prey. Everything ended quickly, cleanly, and coldly. As the sounds faded, the grassland fell silent again. The lion was victorious, and the warthog became a memory of that fleeting moment. On this land, a single moment of carelessness can cost a life. Early in the morning, the gentle sunlight bathed the grasslands. Herds of wildebeest moved in small groups toward the water source. The sound of hooves echoed on the ground, blending with the wind, creating the familiar rhythm of the savannah. Amidst this movement, a few individuals separated from the herd, unaware they were entering the territory of hidden predators. In the tall grass, 4 lionesses lay still, watching the wildebeest from a distance. When one separated from the group, they began to move slowly, closing the distance in silence. The atmosphere grew tense, and then the hunt began. Everything happened quickly, but with clear order and coordination. In an instant, the lions had subdued their prey. The hunt ended successfully, demonstrating the strength and teamwork of the top predators. In this wilderness, strength comes not only from the individual, but also from teamwork. Working as a team helps lions optimize their strength, maintain their dominance, and assert their predatory instincts as rulers of the savannah. Late afternoon on the savannah, a pale yellow sunlight bathed the grasslands. A cheetah appeared, its gait light and agile. It is the fastest animal on the planet, capable of speeds of nearly 70 miles per hour. Yet, with its slender body and light weight, it was not born to fight, but to flee and hunt swiftly. The balance between speed and strength in this world is always fragile. Not far away, 2 male lions lurked in the tall grass. They watched in silence as an intruder approached their territory. Among predators, conflict sometimes isn't over food, but over the boundaries of survival. As the cheetah drew too close, the atmosphere became tense. The lions began to move, each step slow but steady, displaying the inherent power of the dominant species. The encounter was swift, and the disparity in strength quickly determined the outcome. The cheetah lost its speed advantage, and the lion emerged victorious, proving that speed isn't always a guarantee of safety. That moment illustrates a timeless law of nature. Speed may offer opportunities, but strength and control ultimately determine the outcome. On the savannah, there are no absolute advantages. Only adaptive instincts ensure survival. Early in the morning, the savannah was shrouded in a light mist, and a pack of wild dogs gathered near their den. They are small predators but stand out for their incredible coordination and teamwork. Compared to lions, they are lighter, but compensate with speed, agility, and high discipline. From a distance, a lioness appeared, moving silently toward the pack of wild dogs. Tension rose as the distance narrowed. The encounter unfolded in silence, full of restraint. When one wild dog was caught, the entire pack reacted immediately, coordinating closely to rescue it. They did not abandon their ally but surrounded it, moving continuously, creating pressure that forced the lioness to retreat. The confrontation ended when the injured dog was released, and the entire pack retreated safely. That moment demonstrated the true power of the pack spirit. Despite facing lions, coordinated tactics and loyalty helped the wild dogs survive. In the wild, unity remains the most powerful weapon, surpassing even physical strength. It was a sweltering midday on the savannah, the sun casting its rays across the dry grasslands. A herd of African buffalo was slowly making its way toward the stream, seeking a resting place after a long morning of foraging. Weighing up to 1,500 pounds, they were symbols of strength and vigilance. Yet, one wrong step could cost them all their advantage. Not far away, a pride of lions lay hidden in the tall grass. The air was silent, only the gentle breeze rustling the ground. When a buffalo separated from the herd, the predators began to move slowly and orderly. The confrontation was tense. The buffalo fought back, but under the pressure of the entire pride of lions, the balance gradually shifted in favor of the hunter. Every action was meticulously coordinated, demonstrating discipline and natural instinct. Ultimately, the hunt concluded with victory for the lions, affirming the dominance of the savannah's rulers. This victory was not just a meal, but a testament to the lion pride's strength and perfect teamwork. On the savannah, where every day is a test of survival, discipline and teamwork are always key to keeping them at the top of the hunting chain. Early in the morning, the sunlight bathed the towering figure of a giraffe. Over 18 feet tall and weighing nearly 3,000 pounds, it was a symbol of strength and vigilance. With its long legs and powerful kick, the giraffe was a formidable challenge for any predator. In the tranquil grassland, a pride of lions watched silently, waiting for their moment. When the time came, they moved in unison, in tense silence. The confrontation was brief and restrained. The giraffe kept its distance, escaping the encirclement, leaving the lions standing still in the savannah. On the savannah, not every endeavor leads to victory. The high failure rate serves as a reminder that even the most dominant predators must face their limits. The giraffe's escape is proof that in nature, strength sometimes lies in the ability to defend oneself and remain calm in the face of danger. When the dust settles, the savannah returns to its usual tranquility. There are no absolute victors, only creatures that continue to survive according to the harsh laws of nature. Lions walk in silence, carrying the imprint of instinct and experience honed through each confrontation. And there, the cycle of survival continues silently, without end. In the wild world of Africa, hyenas always have two extremes: silently observing and suddenly acting when the opportunity arises. The moments when they confront other species always expose the fierce survival instinct they possess. Each encounter is a story of strength, strategy, and remarkable endurance. These are the most genuine moments of hyenas in the wild, where instinct speaks instead of words. On the African grasslands, buffaloes always stand out with their hundreds of kilograms of body weight, sharp curved horns, and extremely unified herd instinct. When gathered together, they form a living wall that few species dare to challenge. In one confrontation, more than 50 hyenas surrounded a large herd of buffaloes. But the buffaloes were not intimidated. They formed a group, stood close together, and used their horns to chase away any hyenas that came too close. Unable to separate any individual from the herd, the hyenas gradually lost patience and were forced to retreat. This time, victory belonged to the power of unity. In another area, a buffalo calf was caught by hyenas and was in a dangerous situation. But just a few seconds later, the mother appeared, rushed forward at high speed, and approached strongly. The hyenas were surprised by the fierce reaction and immediately retreated to avoid injury. The mother's bravery saved her calf at the decisive moment. In the dense foliage of Africa, the leopard is a master of stealth. Fast, silent, and agile, it often drags its prey up a tree to avoid being robbed. But things don't always go smoothly. Male leopard fighting two hyenas. In a rare moment, the leopard has just taken down an impala when two hyenas appear. Facing such a rapid approach, the leopard is forced to leave its prey and hide in the bushes to observe. When the hyena is busy eating, it sneaks up to take back the meat, but the hyena reacts immediately and charges forward to put pressure. With more than 70% of hyenas taking leopard kills in the wild, the leopard understands that the risk is too great and retreats. In another area, the leopard tries to keep its food from a lone female hyena. The hyena uses a cautious tactic, attacking from low, aiming for soft spots to put pressure. The leopard is dangerous at close range, so the hyena does not dare to approach directly, but waits for the right moment. After a few tense confrontations, the leopard finally chooses to leave to avoid unnecessary injury. These encounters show that, despite being agile and strong, the leopard often has to give way to the stubbornness and tenacity of the hyena, an opponent that always knows how to take advantage of any opening. In the African wild dogs are known for their excellent coordination, high speed, and rare perseverance. A small group can hunt antelopes very effectively, and sometimes they are bold enough to steal food from larger animals. After the leopard leaves, the pack of wild dogs has just won the food, when two hyenas immediately appear and approach. One blocks the way, the other fights for the food, while the hyenas that come later compete with each other. The wild dogs try to approach but cannot overcome the strength of the hyena's jaws. In just a moment, the food disappears, and they are forced to leave. On the next approach, a lone hyena is surrounded again. Previously, it dared to approach the wild dog's food, and now they respond with a familiar tactic: multi-pronged attack, taking turns approaching. Although the hyenas fought back strongly, the dog's coordination gradually pushed them back. These encounters show that although each species has its own advantages, the final result often belongs to the one who knows how to take advantage of the best timing and coordination. On the vast grasslands, wildebeest are known for their endurance and solidarity, but when separated from their herd, they can still defend themselves with surprising ferocity. With their sturdy bodies and nearly 30-inch long horns, they are not easy targets. In one encounter, a lone hyena tried to approach a wildebeest that had escaped from the herd, but the wildebeest was undeterred. It lowered its head, charged with its horns twice in a row, forcing the hyena to dodge and run away. The moment showed that wildebeest, though usually prey, can still be a formidable opponent. On the next approach, the hyena targeted a newborn wildebeest calf, a weaker and slower target. However, the mother's reaction was almost instantaneous. She charged straight at the hyena, using her entire body to repel the danger. The hyena was surprised and quickly retreated without injuring the cub. On the open grasslands of Africa, the cheetah is a symbol of speed and grace. Its slender body gives it superior acceleration, but also makes it avoid fierce confrontations, especially with hyenas, which are known for their endurance and tenacity. In a tense moment, the mother cheetah has just killed a gazelle when the hyena appears. Normally, the cheetah would leave, but because the cub is right behind, its protective instinct makes it immediately rush straight at its opponent. The sudden approach forces the hyena to retreat, and the cheetah quickly takes the cub away from danger. Not long after, in another area, two cheetahs have just killed a prey when the hyena arrives. Although they try to keep their food, their slender physiques make it difficult for them to resist for long. The hyenas easily took the kill, but soon the male lions appeared, forcing the hyenas to abandon the remaining kill. On the African savanna, lions are often considered the dominant force. A single lion has powerful muscles, a fast pounce, and a bite force of about 650 pounds per square inch, enough to take down many larger animals. But without the support of his kin, that dominance is quickly challenged. From a distance, the distinctive laughter of hyenas rings out, signaling the arrival of an unusually large pack. More than 20, then nearly 30 hyenas come from many directions, quickly surrounding the errant male lion. Although they weigh about 570 pounds, nearly 5 times the weight of an adult hyena, the huge difference in numbers makes them bold. The hyenas do not charge all at once. Only a few individuals advance eagerly, performing the familiar tactic: constant pressure and bite to wear down the opponent. One gets too close, and the lion immediately counterattacks. The bite severely injured it. The others tried to rush in to rescue, but to no avail. The battle was still in the hyena's favor. They tightened the siege, forcing the lion to fight back and find a way out. Just as its strength began to wane, another lion roared from afar, an ally in its alliance. Just one more of its kind was enough to make the hyenas falter and scatter. The confrontation ended with no clear winner, but left a clear memory. In the wild, numbers are advantageous, but the spirit of the lion's solidarity is a strength that makes even the most stubborn ones wary. On a wide, open plain, an adult zebra grazes. It stands nearly 5 feet tall at the shoulder, weighs over 700 pounds, and has strong muscles and powerful legs that help it maintain a steady pace. Its steady breathing and alert stance show that it is accustomed to dealing with many dangers. A hyena at the far edge of the plain watches the zebra, looking for a weak spot on its large, powerful body. As the hyena accelerates, the zebra turns and uses its hind legs to create space, forcing its opponent to change direction of approach. The zebra constantly changes its pace, making any close approach by the hyena ineffective. A few other hyenas join the group, creating a short encirclement. However, the zebra keeps its balance and changes direction frequently, making its approach ineffective. Each hyena weighs the risk of serious injury from its legs. On the quiet, dry grass, a small honey badger was foraging. It weighed only about 30 pounds, but its steps were sure and it did not seem nervous. Behind it, a single hyena approached, observing every move. Despite the obvious size difference, the honey badger was not an easy prey due to its thick skin and ability to turn quickly. When the hyena approached, the honey badger turned immediately. It gave a short, low growl, then charged straight at its opponent. Small circles helped it keep its distance and find a counterattack point. The hyena tried to close in, but the honey badger held its position and did not retreat. A pack of other hyenas appeared, forming a circle. In this situation, many smaller species would quickly weaken, but the honey badger was agile, turning to avoid the close attacks. Every time the hyena approached, it risked a counterattack. After several fruitless attempts, the hyenas eventually faltered and left. The story shows that some species survive by making predators consider the cost. The honey badger relies not on strength, but on persistence and a refusal to give up. In the wild, every encounter is filled with unpredictable moments. Each species possesses its own survival instincts: speed, strength, or perseverance. When two predators or prey confront each other, the line between attack and defense becomes blurred. These moments, captured through the lens, reveal the true power of nature. Fierce, precise, and highly strategic.
Here comes another one.
Under the harsh southern African sun, the grass rustled slightly. A small figure flashed by. It was the honey badger. Weighing only 9 to 16 kilograms, but with skin nearly 0.6 centimeters thick, supple and flexible, it could maneuver in any situation. Its claws, about 4 centimeters long, and teeth strong enough to crush a turtle's shell, made any predator wary. Amidst the tall grass, a leopard was stalking. Its eyes were focused, its body lowered, ready to launch a lightning-fast attack. Before it, the prey looked small and alone, a fatal mistake. As the leopard lunged, the pounce was precise, but before it could bring it down, the honey badger turned and counterattacked. It bit, twisted, and clawed repeatedly, causing the leopard to lose the initiative. A roar mixed with heavy breathing echoed. The leopard tried to squeeze, but the thick, loose skin rendered all its bites ineffective. The honey badger clung to its opponent's leg, relentlessly counterattacking. Stunned, the leopard let go, retreated a few steps, and then withdrew silently. The fight ended quickly, and the small creature stood firm in the middle of the grassland. One afternoon on the savannah, the howls of hyenas echoed through the air. These animals are known for their endurance and strong jaws, but often rely on numbers or opportunism to steal prey. A lone hyena weighs around 120 pounds, possessing tenacious instincts, but lacking coordination. Not far away, a pack of African wild dogs was hunting. They moved nimbly, operating in groups, communicating through short cries and glances. Upon spotting a hyena approaching to steal their food, the pack quickly shifted formation, splitting to encircle it. The hyena snarled, trying to appear threatening, but the wild dogs attacked in unison. Some lunged forward, others pressed from the sides. Under constant attack, the hyena lost its advantage. It launched a weak counterattack, then turned and fled amidst a barrage of barks. In an instant, the pack of wild dogs reclaimed their prey. The hyena stopped at a safe distance, breathing heavily, its eyes filled with vigilance. The confrontation ended quickly. Numbers and coordination had decided the outcome. On the wide grassland, the zebra herd moves in small groups. They are a familiar target for many predators, but they are not weak. An adult zebra can weigh over 700 pounds, with strong legs and a kick powerful enough to knock away an attacker. Although herbivores, they often react fiercely when threatened. From a distance, the cheetah spots an opportunity. It chooses a young zebra at the edge of the herd, then accelerates. In seconds, its speed peaks, kicking up dust with each stride. The zebra, sensing danger, changes direction, then suddenly stops, spins around, and delivers a powerful kick. The counterattack makes the cheetah stagger, retreating a few steps. Not giving up, the cheetah tries to approach from the flank, but the zebra herd turns around and joins forces to protect their ally. Another kick grazed it, causing it to lose its balance and retreat. The hunt ended quickly. In the quiet space, the zebra herd continued to move, while the cheetah watched from afar. This time, speed was not enough to overcome the unity and quick reaction of the prey, which reversed the outcome. On a quiet morning on the savannah, the cheetah moved through the warm winds. Weighing around 60 kilograms, its slender body and long legs allowed it to reach speeds of over 70 miles per hour in seconds. While the fastest of all predators, its lightweight put it at a disadvantage in close quarters combat. Every movement relied on agility, not strength. Not far away, the leopard watched. With a body weight of nearly 200 pounds, powerful muscles, and excellent climbing abilities, it was a superior predator. Both often competed for the same food sources, so clashes were inevitable. As the cheetah brought down a small antelope, the leopard appeared from behind. A powerful pounce shook the ground. The cheetah reacted quickly, recoiling and growling, but its body, built for running, couldn't withstand close-range attacks. The leopard closed in, launching a series of claw attacks. The cheetah tried to fight back, but grew weaker and weaker. In just a few seconds, the advantage shifted decisively to the leopard. The cheetah retreated, abandoning its prey. The fight was over, and strength once again prevailed over speed.
Oh, we got it! Oh, he's stomping at him. They're fighting.
In the northern woods, moose strolled slowly by the watering hole. A mature male can be over 7 feet tall and weigh up to 1,500 pounds. During mating season, they are often exhausted from fighting and constant movement. This is precisely what makes them a prime target for powerful predators like bears. A brown bear appeared near the edge of the forest. It watched the moose resting, moving lightly on the dry leaves. Bears usually avoid strong individuals, but this moose showed signs of fatigue and moved slowly. When the opportunity arose, the bear lunged from behind, attacking the prey's hind leg.
Oh my God.
The moose struggled, trying to fight back with its large antlers, but the bear's weight and speed caused it to lose its balance. A strong bite to the leg sent the moose tumbling. In a few short minutes, the fight was over, the bear victorious. In the wild, bears don't rely solely on strength. Timing, observation, and the ability to choose their prey are what ultimately lead to their success in risky hunts. On the dry, hot ground, a cobra slithered slowly through the low grass. With venom potent enough to take down a large animal in minutes, it was a symbol of danger. But its opponent today was a creature much smaller than the mongoose. The mongoose weighed only a few pounds, but possessed a degree of venom resistance thanks to its unique nervous system. Instead of charging immediately, it circled its opponent, taunting with quick dashes and short cries. Each time the snake attacked, the mongoose dodged to the side, gradually tiring its enemy. When the distance narrowed, the mongoose seized the opportunity. With a swift, precise lunge, it bit the snake directly in the head. In an instant, the fight was over. The snake lay motionless, and the tiny creature emerged victorious. The mongoose's success rate in such confrontations is nearly 80%. In nature, reflexes and tactics are sometimes more important than size or strength. On the tranquil riverbank, a hippopotamus lay half-submerged. It's a herbivore, but considered one of Africa's most dangerous animals. An adult can weigh over 3,000 pounds, have a bite force of around 1,800 psi, and tusks up to 20 inches long. In its aquatic environment, the hippopotamus is highly territorial and ready to attack any intruder. A pride of lions appeared near the water's edge. They cautiously observed, rarely venturing too close. But when the lions decided to try their luck, they stepped into the mud, approaching the solitary hippopotamus. A low growl escaped, and one lion leaped, intending to attack its opponent's flank. The hippopotamus reacted instantly. It sprang up, opening its mouth wide, revealing its two enormous tusks. The first bite sent water splashing, forcing the lions to retreat. The remaining lions tried to surround it, but were repelled by its powerful bites and splashes. The hippo charged ashore, chasing after the fleeing pride of lions. When the water calmed down, the hippo stood there, breathing heavily, its body covered in a thick layer of mud. The encounter ended with victory for the seemingly docile creature, yet possessing superior strength. On the vast savanna, where survival is the only rule, the lion emerges as an image of strength and instinct. Every hunt is a confrontation between life and death, where even a small mistake can determine fate. Every step, every breath of the predator carries a cold, calculated intent. In that world, there is no room for pity, only instinct and timing that decide who will survive. The morning was quiet, the early sunlight casting a thin golden hue over the meadow. A zebra had just given birth, the little foal wobbling on its weak legs, its breath as faint as mist. In the first few minutes of life, the world was both vast and fragile. A lioness watched from afar. She knew this moment when the cub couldn't run, couldn't perceive danger. A single moment's delay, and the opportunity would slip away. Instinct drove her forward, as light as the wind rustling through the grass. There was no roar, no chase. Every movement was silent, neat, and precise. When the grass settled, nature returned to its usual tranquility. But in that brief moment, life and death had met. As morning dawned on the savannah, the first rays of sunlight bathed the tall grass in golden light. Silence descended, broken only by the hoarse laughter of a few hyenas fighting over leftover bones. From afar, a pride of lions appeared, moving slowly but powerfully, as if even the wind and earth had to yield. A long-standing feud existed between lions and hyenas, two predators sharing the same land, the same food source, and the same territorial ambitions. A large male lion advanced, its mane blazing in the fading light. The others fanned out, forming a circle. The hyenas growled, but the disparity in strength made them hesitate. In just seconds, the lions charged. One hyena was tossed to the ground, struggling to get up amidst the dense encirclement. A roar echoed across the field before quickly fading. The hyena was wounded, but escaped and fled towards the distant forest. The encounter ended without either side falling. This wasn't a hunt, but a warning. On the savannah, power isn't always demonstrated through destruction. Sometimes, simply forcing the opponent to retreat is enough to maintain order. At midday, under the scorching sun, the dry, cracked earth stretched across the savannah. A herd of African buffalo moved slowly toward the watering hole. Each adult weighed over 1,500 pounds, with thick, curved horns and a strong, protective instinct. Their only shield against the harsh elements was their solidarity. In the nearby bushes, more than 10 lions lurked in the tall grass. They had patiently watched the buffalo herd all morning, searching for the moment to strike. Buffaloes were formidable opponents. A single goring could injure a predator, but hunger prevented the lions from retreating. A weak, old male buffalo lagged behind, becoming the focal point. The encirclement gradually closed, silent footsteps drawing closer. The buffalo fought back fiercely, butting forcefully and kicking repeatedly, forcing several lions to dodge. But its strength was gone, its breathing becoming heavier with each passing second. When the time came, the lions charged from multiple directions. After a brief struggle, the buffalo collapsed in silence. Finally, the lions seized their prey, dividing the meal among themselves in the fading afternoon sun. On the savannah, perseverance and strategy had brought victory, reminding us of the immutable law of nature. Only those who wait will endure. In the misty morning, the ground still bore the tracks of the wildebeest herd from the previous night. They advanced toward new pasture, each step steady but slow. The entire herd migrated relentlessly, searching for safety and food, but danger lurked along every path. A lioness, hidden in the bushes, focused her gaze on a stray wildebeest. She took a few steps forward, then stopped. Instinct and experience dictated her decision: attack or wait. The hesitation lasted only a moment, but nearby, a male lion had chosen differently. It charged forward without hesitation, its heavy body moving with powerful speed. The sudden attack shook the ground. The wildebeest turned to escape, but it was too late. The pounce was powerful, precise, decisive, and the hunt ended faster than a breath. The male lion emerged victorious, while the female simply watched, her eyes filled with a hint of regret. On the vast savannah, the morning air was still tinged with mist. Herds of animals moved slowly through the tall grass, where life and danger always went hand in hand. Amidst this seemingly peaceful scene, a pack of African wild dogs appeared, agile, persistent, and highly vigilant. But a single misstep could lead them to the brink of death, where lions held absolute control. In the distance, a large male lion rested in the shade of the grass. Its eyes followed every small movement until it recognized the intruders. Not out of hunger, but because its territorial instinct kicked in. Suddenly, it leaped from the bushes, its over 420-pound body soaring across the open field, its roar shaking the ground. The wild dogs scattered in panic, their cries carried away by the wind. A few puppies were knocked over, unable to escape. The attack was swift, clean, but fierce. When the dust settled, only the sound of the wind blowing across the empty field and a few small figures fading into the distance remained.
A lion just took the pup. He's dead.
The lion did not pursue. It stopped, its breathing slow, its gaze calm. On the savannah, territorial transgressions always come at an immediate price. The pack of dogs had lost a few cubs, and the lesson was deeply ingrained. In nature, every boundary has its price. In nature, confrontations don't happen out of senseless rage. They stem from territory, food, the right to reproduce, and the instinct to protect life. Moments captured on camera show animals fighting not just with strength, but with limits and choices. These are the most intense confrontations in the wild, where survival is decided in a fleeting moment. Leopards appear silently, almost dissolving into the darkness. Their bodies are compact and agile, accustomed to moving alone. A leopard's strength lies not in ostentation, but in its ability to choose the right moment. Hyenas, however, are different. They rarely act alone, always moving with the confidence of a group. Their persistence and tenacity make them a persistent source of pressure. The encounter begins when the leopard tries to reclaim its lost prey. It advances cautiously, seeking to regain its initial advantage. But the hyena holds its position, refusing to yield. The pressure builds as the hyena closes, gradually narrowing the space. The leopard chooses to retreat, maintaining distance and observing. Silence becomes its strategy. In the most tense moment, another leopard suddenly appears. It snatches a portion of the prey and disappears. The outcome is decided in a few short moments. Individual intelligence helps leopards survive, but in nature, the pack is the deciding factor. Hyenas appear on the savannah with familiar confidence. They move in packs, listening to sounds, following scents, silently searching for opportunities. A single hyena isn't particularly conspicuous, but when together, they become patient and unpredictable. An adult spotted hyena weighs about 120 to 140 pounds. Its strong jaws allow it to exploit even the leftover food sources in nature. Hyenas are rarely in a hurry. They observe and test their limits, believing that numbers always bring an advantage. That confidence gradually pushes them into confrontation. A lioness is surrounded by a pack of hyenas. They advance step by step, applying pressure, forcing their opponent to be on the defensive. The atmosphere becomes tense. The sounds of the savannah subside for a few brief moments. Then the situation changed. This was lion territory. From the tall grass, the lions appeared just in time. The counterattack was swift and decisive. It didn't need to last long. The advantage immediately reversed. The hyena pack dispersed, scattering to avoid direct pressure. Their pack instincts caused them to regroup in an instant. A few individuals tried to regroup, attempting to pull their pack out of danger. But the overwhelming pressure didn't allow for any further delay. The hyenas were forced to retreat completely. In nature, survival isn't just about numbers or recklessness. It's decided in the moment when the balance of power clearly tips to one side. The rhinoceros emerges from the dry land with a slow but weighty gait. Its thick, armor-like skin envelops its body, weighing over 4,000 pounds. Its horns are not for ostentation, but to maintain a safe distance. Rhinoceros don't seek conflict. They live solitary lives, relying on stability to avoid unnecessary clashes. Most of the time, simply standing still is enough to deter any threat. But water always alters the order. As the rhinoceros approaches the riverbank, the natural boundary blurs. This is the hippopotamus's territory. From the water's surface, it emerges and moves closer, quickly compressing the space between the two species. The rhinoceros stops in a warning stance. The hippo responded with a show of force, its jaws wide open as a final warning. The tension lasted only a moment. Other rhinos appeared behind, instantly shifting the balance. The hippo slowed, then turned, and retreated back into the deeper water. In nature, not every confrontation requires victory. Sometimes, knowing when to stop is the key to survival. Hippopotamuses dominate the waters with absolute composure. Most of the time, they are submerged in rivers and swamps, only their eyes and nostrils visible. An adult hippopotamus can weigh over 3,000 pounds. This size isn't for show, but rather a natural shield against any threat. Hippopotamuses don't hunt. They eat grass, move slowly, and rarely leave the water's edge. This calmness leads many species to underestimate them. But beneath that stillness lies a lightning-fast reflex when their safe space is invaded. On the riverbank, a lioness observes from afar. This isn't a familiar hunt. A hippopotamus is resting near the water's edge. The lioness approaches cautiously. The distance narrows with each step. Each advance tilts the balance toward the hippopotamus. The reaction happens in an instant. The hippopotamus lunges from the water's surface. Its massive body shifted all its weight forward. In a brief moment, the hippo clamped down on the lion's head and thrashed violently. The confrontation ended as quickly as it began. The lion, fortunate to survive, retreated in a dazed state. In male elephants, there are periods when the body enters a state called must. This is when testosterone levels rise, lasting for weeks at a time. This change makes behavior more aggressive and difficult to control than usual. During must, male elephants are particularly sensitive to territory. They react strongly to the presence of rivals of the same sex. Confrontations can quickly become dangerous. On an open field, two male elephants meet. Ears spread wide, heads lowered, each step carrying immense weight. There's no need to charge immediately. Pressure builds from the distance. The struggle is tense. Heavy pushes test the endurance and steadfastness of each side. Neither wants to be the first to retreat. But over time, the disparity begins to become apparent. The younger elephant slows down its pace of attack. Then it retreated, slowly moving away from the confrontation area. The encounter ended without a chase. A timely decision brought the conflict to an end. In nature, knowing when to retreat is a victory for survival. The snake lay motionless on the warm ground, its body coiled in a waiting posture. It controlled the space with patience and venom, waiting for just one small mistake from its opponent. In the world of snakes, a well-timed bite is often enough to end the confrontation. That stillness was broken when the mongoose appeared. Small and close to the ground, it moved continuously at a speed of about 7 to 9 miles per hour. Never standing still, never hesitating, the mongoose disrupted the snake's waiting rhythm. The mongoose actively approached and provoked. Each counterattack from the snake was precisely dodged with agile forward and backward movements. The mongoose patiently prolonged the confrontation, forcing the snake to gradually lose its advantage. When the time was ripe, the mongoose lunged forward in a flash. A decisive bite aimed directly at the head or neck ends it all. The fight is over quickly, without prolongation. In nature, venom doesn't always determine the outcome. Sometimes speed, alertness, and the ability to control the pace are the deciding factors for survival. Confrontations between bears often stem from very basic reasons: territorial encroachment, food disputes, or mating rights during the breeding season. With female bears, the instinct to protect their young makes the boundaries even clearer. A single misstep can ignite tension. But most encounters don't last long. Statistics in nature show that about 87% of bear confrontations do not result in death. Only about 4 to 13% end in death. The main causes are size differences or severe injuries. Two brown bears stand facing each other. A growl rings out. Bodies lunge in a brief skirmish. There is no prolonged chase, just a test of strength and will. After a few tense moments, both began to back down. The risks became too great to outweigh the potential benefits. They both retreated in different directions. In nature, most conflicts end in compromise. Not every confrontation requires death to determine a winner. Sometimes, knowing when to stop is the key to maintaining balance. The moments captured show that nature doesn't operate in chaos, but within very clear boundaries. Each confrontation is a silent test, where strength, instinct, and choice coexist. Most encounters end with timely retreat, rather than unnecessary loss. If you appreciate the authentic survival stories of the wild, subscribe to the channel to continue our journeys.